Hey dividend investors, today I'm going to be talking about Tesla, and no, Tesla does not pay a dividend, but is it a good hedge for the future? Because we don't always need to invest in dividend stocks to make a killing on the stock market. Tesla has had a massive run over the last couple of years, and I'm kicking my own butt because I sold out of my portion. I had some Tesla shares like 3 years ago, and I'm kicking myself because I sold my shares to buy a Mustang. It was originally set, I put my money into Tesla because I originally wanted to say, hey, in probably 5 to 10 years, I'll have enough money from the Tesla investment to buy a Tesla Roadster, and I decided I want my Mustang more, so I sold out of my Tesla shares. But I still have a very fun car, so I'm not complaining about that. What I'm complaining about is I could have a crap ton of money if I was invested in Tesla, and this video is about, is Tesla a good investment in 2021? Let's get down and let's check this out. So yes, Tesla has had a little bit of a pullback. It did reach an all-time high only a few days ago, and that all-time high was $884.49. I have since then gotten back into Tesla shares roughly around $830 something. I can't remember right now. So I'm still at that level. This is the level where I personally think that it's going to be sitting at for a little while. Let me explain to you really quickly why. So over the past year, we have had this big run up, and then it pulled back just a bit and then leveled off. And then recently, back in November, it then exploded higher again, and it's had a little bit of a pullback. So from this right here, it's telling us that there is still momentum in the stock, and over the next month, 2 or 3 months, I would assume that it's going to level off. Now, who's to say that January 27th, which is only a couple of days from now, that their earnings are killer? Who's to say that they're not going to be killer and it just explodes higher? Well, there's no saying really. This leveling off period tends to happen between quarters or between when there's no real big news coming out. And we've seen this multiple times before. We've seen a leveling out period, and then we've seen explosion, leveling out, explosion, leveling out, explosion again, explosion, and it just keeps on going. A little bit of leveling out and then explosion again. Now, the question is it going to be a short period of leveling out, or is it going to be a longer period of leveling out? Because if it's a longer period of leveling out, then we can really assume that, well, this is still a good investment, but it could level out for a bit of time. But if it's only a short period of leveling out, this could explode higher. Now, what I really like to look at with companies like this, where it just doesn't make any sense why they're just exploding higher. Of course, there's a short squeeze happening, as well as just not enough stock on the market for people to buy. And one thing that I do back up on is earnings power and their financials. So as we can see here, they have been negative earnings all the way through until 2019. Their revenue, however, has gone up. They're making billions of dollars every year. However, they have beaten the expectations, and they have been making money for the last couple of quarters, 4 to be exact, and they were just put on the S&P, which is huge. That's why they were initially, before that little while of leveling off that I showed you, that longer period of roughly 2 months of leveling off, because they made it to onto the S&P, and then they had that explosion period after. Now, their expectations right now are roughly around 95 cents to $1 per share. Now, they sold a lot of cars in the fourth quarter. A lot of cars. I'm going to say right now that their earnings are probably, in my opinion, this is not fact. I am a shareholder, so take this where it is. Take it with a grain of salt if you want. But I think that is going to be above $1. And if that's the case, I think that stock is going to run a lot more, because that would be 5 quarters in a row that they beat expectations. That would then mean that expectations are going to skyrocket, especially when they start making cars in these different factories that they are currently building. There's one over in Europe being built. There's another in China being built. Yeah, China. But this means that they are cornering the market in electric vehicles in my mind. Yes, they've had less sales. They've lost market share in Europe. That's fine. It doesn't necessarily matter if they've lost market share in one part of the world. A lot of Europeans will always favor BMW, Mercedes, and cars like that. They always have and they always will. Are they my taste of car? No. I like American made. That's just how I like it. I like Ford. I like Dodge. I like some Chev. I really like Tesla. And with all of these cars coming up, it's a massively good investment. Now, another thing about Tesla that a lot of analysts that we see on CNBC really talk about, they don't talk about the fact that Tesla is not just a car manufacturer. I used to work at Best Buy. A lot of their smaller speakers and a lot of different of their actual things that they sell use Tesla batteries. One of their Logitech speakers is what made me think, wow, Tesla's not just a car company. There's a Logitech speaker, at least it used to be. I don't know if they still make it with a Tesla battery or not, but the Logitech salesperson, and I looked it up for myself because I didn't believe him, one of their Logitech speakers has Tesla batteries built into it, which is why it has great battery life. That's one of their sales techniques, and it works. And it's a really good battery life. Now that just means that Tesla's not just a car manufacturer, they are a battery manufacturer because they manufacture batteries. They have the biggest factory of battery manufacturing in the world. Of course, they teamed up with Panasonic, but that's besides the point. From there, they also do power grids. Look at Australia for an example. They have stabilized the Australian electrical grid with their massive batteries. This is huge news. And with solar becoming bigger and bigger over the next couple of years, considering the fact that they own Solar City, which is another massive solar company, think about Africa. Think about Australia because they're expanding in Australia. Think about China. They're doing the battery thing, what they did in Australia and China as well, apparently. Think of a lot of places in Europe, but I think of India. I think of Africa. I think of all those places. And it's going to be massive. And then when you really think about the expansion of the electrical car, you're going to need a battery pack on your house. Because why would you want a generator if you lived out in the country anymore? If you could just get a couple solar panels or the solar roof that Tesla produces and have that on your house and then have the battery pack, and now you don't have to worry about a generator when your power grid goes down because you've got the battery that could last a day or two, and it just keeps on growing from there. I really wish I could invest more into companies like SpaceX. You can't. I've made that video on this channel. But just think of how much future technology that they have versus what they're doing today. They have the semi-truck coming out. They have that massive roadster coming out. They have more cars coming out. They have the Tesla Plaid coming out. There's Plaid, not plane, not the flying thing, but the fast Model S. They have a lot of stuff going for them right now into the future, and over the next 10 years, they could be the next Amazon when it comes to stock price. That's my analysis. I don't know what yours is. Leave a comment below. I'll see you guys again next time.